up, YouTube? It's your boy RikuTheBest, better than the rest, aka the Dark Knight. You call me that, you good for today. Coming at you with another Dragon Ball Legends discussion video. We're gonna be discussing top 5 highest blast damage overall. Overall is gonna take into consideration all of their buffs fighting their preferred unit. So yes, Z ability is gonna be factored in, unique ability, main ability. Like I said, if they have to fight a certain unit, that will also be factored in. Social media is gonna be at the top. If you have any of those platforms, you know what to do. Follow your boy. And coming at number 5, who was previously number 3, I believe, in the last top 5 blast damage overall video that I've done. EX Vegeta, EX Green Vegeta. This guy screams nothing but blast attack. Literally. Low health, low defenses, low strike attack. Blast attack looking pretty delicious, huh? Yeah, the guy's very fragile, but we're gonna go through. Of course, all the values will be added to his base blast attack stat. So, he has the 45% buff from his main ability. He has the 15% buff from his unique ability. He has the 10% from his Gallic gun. He has the 20% from his own key card. And he has the 17% from his own Z ability. All of that added to his base blast attack puts him in the number 5 spot. I do have the extra values and I will pull them out if I should, if you want me to. Adding all of his percentages to his base blast attack value puts him at 8302. I'll put it up on the screen as well. Okay, so he comes in at the number 5 spot with that. Number 4, Super Saiyan Kid Trunks with the highest base blast damage in the game, not overall. Not overall. That's why I'm doing this video. So we're gonna go through his ability. So his main ability does not factor in. His unique ability is where it really comes into play of him having very high blast damage. 40% blast damage inflicted when Goten is on your team. 20% blast damage inflicted for the first 30 seconds. So that's 60% buff to his blast damage already. 15% blast damage after his double buster. Key card, 10% to blast damage inflicted. And he buffs his own blast attack with the Z ability by 17%. That's very important too, because Z ability 1 will only be factored in. So same with the EX Vegeta, Z ability 1 will only be factored in, of course. Sparking units, Z ability 1 will have a higher percentage most of the time, depending on what it's buffing. If it's something like the Frieza Force, they're gonna generally have a higher buff even as EX. I think it's like 23% at 1 Z ability level 1. But regardless, all of those stats added together put him at a total number of 89.59. Keep in mind, this is 89,000.59 with all the percentages added to his base blast attack. Number 3, Super Vegeta. Yes. Now we talked about this guy and probably the other guy I'm going to talk about as well, but I'll talk about it then when I get there. Super Vegeta is coming in at number 3. His spot still remains the same, which is good, you know? So, considering his base blast attack is also very high, we're gonna add his unique ability along with that. So yes, we're gonna take into consideration he's been in for 15 counts. Like I said, the overall, whatever the situation depends, we're gonna put them in that situation. So 70% blast damage from his unique ability. Number 1, his second unique ability is gonna give him 20% blast damage. Basically, when he switches in, they're already gonna have 20% debuff through their blast defense. He's gonna have blast damage increased when he switches in. That's how it is. So 20% is going to be added to his base blast attack stat, as well as his final flash, which gives him 10% more blast attack, as well as his key card, which gives him 15% more blast attack, and his Z ability 1, 19% to his blast attack as well. Taking into consideration all of his buffs, it puts him at a value of 91.59, barely above Super Saiyan Kid Trunks. But of course, Super Saiyan Kid Trunks needs Goten. So like I said, we're going to take into consideration they are given these situations to give them the highest overall blast damage. Number 2, considering he has already a high base blast attack, main ability, 50% to his blast attack, his unique ability, 20% to his blast attack, his Gallic gun gives him 15% to his blast attack. His key card gives him 15% more to his blast attack. His Z ability level 1 gives him 19% to his blast attack. Literally, this guy breathes blast attack. Every single card effect gives him a buff to blast attack. Key card, super attack, main ability, unique ability, Z ability. Literally every damn thing. You can't even breathe without this guy giving a blast attack buff. Vegeta and Super Vegeta were back and forth for the #1 spot. Like I said, it depends on the situation. This Vegeta will outdamage Super Vegeta if he fights only a Super Warrior character. Only when he's fighting a Super Warrior character. Obviously, if he doesn't fight a Super Warrior character, Super Vegeta is naturally going to outdamage him. I don't want to say less restrictions. No, I could actually say less restrictions because the other Vegeta doesn't have to fight a certain unit. That's for anybody. That's for anybody. This guy literally has to fight a Super Warrior character to outdamage Super Vegeta. His unique ability, 20% blast damage inflicted to tag Super Warrior. That's the only reason he would outdamage Super Vegeta. So it's a very slim situation, depends. This Vegeta comes at a value of 93.19. So it's not too far from Super Vegeta. Not too far from Super Vegeta considering all their buffs added to their base blast attack. #1 spot. Kami fused with Piccolo. Kamiklo takes the #1 spot, beating out both Vegetas. Of course, like I said, depends on the situation. And we're going to put them in that situation. I'm going to keep saying it so people will understand and not confuse it. Because if you were to use one of these units, like, why is it outdamaging my other unit? Well, I mean, it depends on how many times you have a limit broken, depends on who you have in your team, depends on who you're fighting. That's how it is. But, you know, like I said, for the sake of this video, Piccolo, enough stalling. Kamiklo, he has the second highest blast attack value, base. He has the second highest base blast attack value behind Super Saiyan Kid Trunks. God, his stats is beautiful. So, main ability, 50% to blast damage. We're not going to talk about the other side because that's broken, but that doesn't. 50% to blast damage. With his main ability, his unique ability, 35% to blast damage received only for androids. Unique ability #2, 50% to blast damage inflicted against only androids. Okay, his key card, 10% to allies blast damage for 15 timer counts. Now, when I first did the calculations for this, I did include that card to his total value. You know, of course, 10% to the 44 point whatever his base blast attack is. However, I just recalculated that and it only applies to his allies. However, if it does, it's still gonna put him in the #1 spot. If it does not apply to him, his key card, if it does not apply to him, it's still gonna put him in the #1 spot. It's only 10%. So 22% to base blast attack. You see what I mean? Certain Z abilities will get higher buffs depending on what it is, depending on the tag. That's what I meant to say. That's what I actually meant to say. Depending on the tag, Saiyans will not get this big of a buff, even with the Spark Unit Z ability at Z level 1. Regeneration, it's not too many regeneration units in the game. So it's, like I said, it's the same thing with the Frieza Force. EX Frieza gives 23% buff to Frieza Force units. It's not that many usable Frieza Force units in the game, and that's why it gets such a big buff. You know, for Z ability 1, compared to the other people with their Z ability, not nearly as much if they buff like Saiyans, something very common. However, adding all these percentages together, disregarding his key card, because I'm sure it's for his allies and not him. Even if it's for him, it will still put him in #1 spot, does not matter at all. However, now with Kamiklo, of course, overall blast attack value is higher than everyone else. He comes in at a value of 118.37. So it's 118,000, yes. Without the key card effect, it will be 114,000. It's still way above Vegeta's 93.19 and the other one's like 91 point something. But yes, Kamiklo has the overall highest blast attack value in the game. Taking into consideration he's put in these situations, same thing for everyone else. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this is like pretty informative or whatnot. Yes, other units can still outdamage him, and they will. If he's not fighting an android, he will be outdamaged by most of the people on the list who has less restrictions of his abilities, etc, and so on. This is just for etc, and so on. So this is just for the overall blast damage value. You know, I like doing this type of thing. It's very fun. So if you have any questions, comment in the comment box below. Give it a thumbs up. Make sure you guys do that. Thank you guys for watching. Jana, hold up. Jana, bye.